Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a dark romance reading vlog. I had been wanting to switch it up. I have been reading so many contemporary, rom-com, lighthearted reads, and I just kind of want to take a step into the dark side here for a second. So I figured I would do a dark romance reading vlog. I think for this reading vlog, I'm going to be reading mostly Pam Godwin. I want to read Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. I want to read Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. And I want to read Knotted by Pam Godwin. I don't know if that's a single book or if that's like a series of the same couple. Like, I don't know how that Knotted series is, like how it goes. I need to research that. But those are the three romances that I want to read for this reading vlog, and I'm super excited, kind of nervous. I don't want to get into any slumps while I'm reading these, but I'll keep you guys updated. So if you guys want to see me reading some dark romances, then go ahead and just keep on watching. Hey guys, so I'm here for an update. Don't mind the hair. She's gonna do what she needs to do. She's honestly out and proud, and low-key, I'm okay with it. But I have an update on Dark Notes. This is probably the only time I'm going to be holding this book up because I, for one, need to show it off. But for two, I'm not going to be holding this. I'm going to put it back on my shelf for it to look pretty. This is the Mystic Box edition of Dark Notes. It is absolutely beautiful. I paid an obscene amount of money for this. So yeah, this is the book that I'm currently reading. I am 25% of the way in, and I made sure that I stopped last night reading because I wanted to make sure I was updating you guys regularly. Not me holding myself accountable. Ugh, I love it. And I'm starting to understand. Anyways, I'm gonna put that down and pop up a picture. Despite that I have the special edition cover, I am reading this on my ebook because I do have the ebook version and I'm loving it so far. I am. So basically we have Ivory. She is a student in this very prestigious musical school. She is in her last year of high school. She's a senior and she is 17. Pam Godwin. Okay, first of all, this is my first ever book by Pam Godwin and I'm already loving her writing. Like, I get it. But I also love, because this is a dark taboo romance. This is age gap. It's gonna have some BDSM elements. Like, I can already see it, and I am highly anticipating until like when they get together. But anyways, this is teacher student also. I love the way that Pam Godwin literally mentioned once that the legal age of consent was 17, which Ivory is, and she's gonna be 18 in like a couple months. She only needed to say it once, and I was like, perfect. But Pam Godwin also lets you know how risky their situation is. Like, you can feel it. You can feel the forbidden aspect to the relationship, and I feel like it's more, well, it's on both sides. I feel like Ivory, she has grown up in a difficult household situation. Let me tell you, her mom is not there for her, her brother's not there for her, and she is emotionally, physically abused, and she's just going through it. Despite all of this, she has this one goal, this one ambition that has gotten her through all of it. She makes these very difficult decisions to be able to have a roof over her head. She has literally no support. It's just her, and I already hate her brother. I hate her mother. I hate her brother's best friend. Like, Ivory has this misconception of what sex and consent is. You can see it. The way that Pam Godwin shows you, without telling you, she shows you how Ivory thinks and what her view on sex and consent are one, like, so devastating, but two, it's like, how else is she gonna view it because of everything that she's been through? And Pam Godwin, she does not sugarcoat it, okay? She shows you, and there are scenes in here that are just absolutely just terrible. And so yeah, check trigger warnings. This is a dark, forbidden age gap romance, but it is so good. Ivory has gotten into her piano music classes because she has like her course schedule, and then like in the afternoon it's like all music based, and she plays the piano she has a new teacher because the dean of the school fired this previous teacher so she could put Emmerich in, and Emmerich is our hero because the previous teacher was going to nominate Ivory to be sent to like the most prestigious like piano college, and so the dean of the school made a deal that she would hire Emmerich so that Emmerich could nominate her son to that prestigious school. So it's all very messy because Ivory has this goal, and in Emmerich's mind, he's like has these feelings towards Ivory. He has like this protective possessiveness going on, which I'm eating up. I am. But he's also an asshole, okay? He's hung up on somebody else named Joanne, which I'm not liking this. Like, why does she keep getting brung up, and like, what did she do? And like, obviously they had this BDSM relationship and Joanna did something, and I'm also thinking that maybe Emmerich is a single dad. I don't know. I might just be really off the ballpark, but like there was something that he had thought / said that made me think like, oh, maybe he's a single dad. But yeah, he has this past relationship with this other woman, and I'm like, he's a little bit still hung up about it, and I'm like, boy, if you don't stop thinking about this other woman. But that's just me because I just want my couple to like want my couple, you know? He's like, she is amazing, she is the top of her class, she is so good, but she's still not gonna get nominated. And I was like, there's only like one person from that school that gets nominated and is even lucky to even be accepted. So obviously I feel like things are gonna change because he's gonna fall for her. But like right now she is doing everything she can, and especially with her situation, like you want her to get there, you want her to succeed. And Emmerich's point of view, you just see that it's like he thinks like it sucks to suck, like for me to keep my job and to be a teacher here despite what happened in the previous one that he was teaching at. See, there's like that side plot where I'm like, what the fuck did you do, boy? He's like, I'm not gonna risk it over Ivory. So he's like, she's not gonna get nominated even though she's so good. Yeah, it is really good so far. That's basically kind of the premise right now. Basically stopped at the point where Emmerich starts giving her private lessons because he takes time with each of his students after school to just do one-on-one teaching, but he purposely suggested that his other students, like I think like there was 4, Ivory and like 3 others, and he suggested that 2 of them have like private tutors, and like the other one he suggested a different teacher, so now he only has this private time with Ivory. And so we're gonna get more forced proximity, more personal interaction, and I'm trying to see what Emmerich is gonna do because he's already like kind of low-key like crossed a couple lines, but like not in a way that I don't like. It's more in the possessive protective way. Like I said, he's already established this dominant personality with Ivory, and he can tell how submissive she is but how scared she is, and she can't help but want to please Emmerich, whether it's because he is her teacher or just because she can also feel that dominant energy coming from him. I just love that dynamic, so I'm eating it up. I love how observant Emmerich is, and I already love how he has protected Ivory once already, even though he wants nothing to do with her. Okay, I'm eating it up. I need to read a little bit more. I will update you guys maybe at the 50 or 60% mark. I'm just really enjoying it. I am loving it. I just need Emmerich to soften up a little bit. I just can't wait to see where this goes. Okay, so I am 53% of the way into Dark Notes, and I am loving it more and more. I really am. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. I did have a thought around like the 30-ish, 40-ish% mark. Emmerich had gotten a text from Joanne. I was just like thinking, I was like, okay, I had to write it down because I had some thoughts, okay? I basically said, I don't like how Emmerich still thinks about Joanne. I don't like that he has had something with her, like a previous relationship for 4 years. Like, I don't know, like it doesn't make Ivory feel special to him. Why her? Like, why pick her? It's just like he's done this before, and it wasn't a student, so I guess he hasn't done it before. I mean, I guess it's different because you do learn more about the relationship. He does tell her what it was. So I guess when I had that thought, I was like, what makes Ivory so special? Like, I needed to see more of their connection, which we have gotten. I just remember thinking like, hardcore rolling my eyes because I didn't like that he had this past relationship before we had gotten all the details about it. I guess those are my thoughts so far, but the way that Emmerich just takes care of her and shows her what it's like to have just everything, and just also the way that he protects her and cares about her and wants her for himself despite everything else. Just the way that he pays so close attention to her too, like when he first did the thing with the shoes and now like they're standing in his closet and she's looking at all this stuff. Like he went shopping for her. He ignored her for like 5 weeks, but he couldn't like get over her, so he literally went shopping for her. A man after my own heart. Everything he's done, his actions and his words are just so beautifully meant for Ivory, and now I'm just like, they're absolute soulmates. Like they're literally meant to be together. Like I also am at the 53% mark and I have no idea where this is gonna go. I have no idea how this is gonna play out because it's still forbidden. There's so much trouble they could both of them get into. I do want to see a lot more of Ivory like actually learning the piano. Not learning because she knows how to play the piano, but like I want to see them together with music more. I will update you guys later today. I am most likely going to finish this book today just because I'm loving it so far and I wanna binge it. I do. Okay, so I finished Dark Notes. And I'm giving it 5 stars. Y'all, the way that I am like shooketh, this book was so good. Like the way that I ate this book up, I literally can't. Like, I literally can't. Emmerich is so perfect. Like, the lengths that he went to protect Ivory, like, they were literally perfect for each other. Literally soulmates. Literally soulmates. You can't tell me otherwise. I loved it so much. Honestly, there was nothing wrong with the book. Like, I can't find any faults in the book. Like, I know earlier I was like, I hate Emmerich's past relationship, but honestly, that was brought up. It had the effect that it needed to have, and then we learned the backstory, and then it ended, and when it was wrapped up, and it was wrapped up real nice. It literally had twists and turns. I could not tell you what the third act breakup was gonna be, and there wasn't. There was no third act breakup, but there was still plot, and it kept me entertained, and I was just shook. And honestly, trigger warnings for an animal death, which I think I knew about, but I just forgot until it happened, so it caught me a little bit off guard, and I'm a little sad about it. But like this book, it's so good. It was so good. It was everything that I needed after reading my previous books. I needed something a little bit darker, a little bit more emotional, and I love when BDSM is in a book and it's done well, and it is done so well. It's not the kinkiest BDSM I've ever read, but it has those elements in it which I eat up. Emmerich is literally chef's kiss. Like, he is so chef's kiss. Oh my god, I ate up every page of this book. I low-key want the paperback. I am not in love with the paperback, but now that I've read the story, I think I like the paperback cover a little bit more. I do have my special edition, but I kind of want the paperback so I can annotate it. That's how much I loved it, and I can't wait to reread it. And the smut in here, you guys, it was hot. Like, it was so good. Let me think if there's anything else that I can say about this book besides it was so good, because I can't just keep saying that for the next 3 minutes. I am so glad that I read it. I think I just read it at the perfect time, and I was just in this mood, and Pam Godwin has always been an author that I wanted to try, and I loved her writing. She's a new to me author, and I am so glad that I loved her, because now it's just like, I love when I find a new author that I love, because now I'm just more excited to read her backlist. I know what she can do with darker elements and how she makes these relationships just work and just be worth the long haul, the struggles. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to read Sea of Ruin and Knotted. I can't wait. I don't know when I'm gonna pick them up, to be quite honest with you, but I will keep you guys updated. I literally need to process this book and write my review for it. I have a couple of reviews stacked up that I need to write. I will try and get that done today. I don't know if I will, but I will try to get it done. But yeah, this reading vlog off to an amazing start. Hi guys, so I'm here to do an update. I haven't done an update for this vlog in so long. I do need to update you guys guys on Sea of Ruin because I did read that. I know I didn't do any like updates while I was reading it. I literally went in and I binged it, and then I needed like a few days to process it, and it's been a few days, and I have written my review on Goodreads, but I'm still kind of like marinating, bro. English is not my first language. I'm still like stewing in my thoughts and trying to figure out my for sure like solid rating for that. So anyways, moving on, I am reading Knotted by Pam Godwin. This is the last book for this vlog. Listen, the thing with Knotted, I actually picked this book up after Dark Notes, and I read maybe like 10%, and then I kind of put it down, and then I read Sea of Ruin, and then I tried picking up Knotted again after I finished Sea of Ruin, and then I made it to 20%, and once I hit the 22%, I put that book down, and I did not pick that book back up for a minute. It says I started it on the 1st of April. So I am still currently reading it. It's April 12th as I'm filming this. So, but yeah. And then now I am currently reading it. So I think the thing with this one is that I had been going from back to back like dark romance, because let me tell you, Pam Godwin, she is a dark romance writer, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So in Knotted, we have our hero Jake and our heroine Connor. So Connor and Jake have this all-consuming love for each other. They grow up together. They are literally soulmates. They're gonna grow up, get married. Like, they are it for each other. And when Connor turns 16, she is going to lose her virginity to Jake. So they are like hiding out in this, like, they went on like a camping like road trip type of thing with Connor's brother Lorne and Jake's twin brother. What is his name? I want to say it's Rhett, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Anyways, so there's these 4 people: Connor, Jake, Connor's brother, and Jake's brother. So at the beginning, I did find that a little bit weird because everybody knew what was gonna happen. Like, everybody knew that Jake was gonna take Connor like to the side, and they were gonna have their little moment, you know, together. So I did that. I did find that weird because they were just gonna be, they knew what was gonna be happening, but they were gonna be like on the other side as lookouts or whatever. I did think that was weird, but I guess this shit has to happen that way for the other shit that's gonna happen. So while this is happening, it is all good and dandy. It starts off so good. Like, just the tension and the chemistry, and like, you know that they love each other, and it's just gonna be so hot, right? And Jake has Lucky in there, and he ties Connor up to a tree, and he's literally about to like put it in when they hear people coming. These people, it's 2 men with ski masks and guns, and just, yeah, they come and interrupt. First of all, they beat up the brothers in the beginning, and then they have them like tied up. They end up sexually assaulting Connor in front of all 3 boys. Jake is like knocked out at some point. Like, he turns around and he tries to untie her, but like everything is happening so fast that he can't untie her. So she's literally naked, tied to a tree, like by her wrists. Stuff happens, and it is so sad, bro. And it's like, you're in like Jake's point of view, so it's dual POV, and he is just so devastated, and he like tries to make eye contact with her, like, stay with me, like, I'm so sorry. Like, he can't do nothing, and it is so heartbreaking. Like, I was liking the read. Like, I was just like, this is too much, you know. And this was right after Sea of Ruin, so I was just like, so anyways, I put it down. That's the beginning. And eventually, you know, Lorne and Jake's brother, they get free from being tied to the tree trunk, and they reach for the gun. This whole scuffle happens. Jake is like set free, and like they help Connor, and this just whole mess happens, okay? People die, stuff happens. The thing when I was reading this that I just was so upset about was how bad the parents treat the kids, especially with what had just literally happened, and what they all went through. They're just treated so poorly. Connor's father takes Connor and they move to Chicago. So her father pissed me off so bad. His kids did not deserve him. He took Connor away from her support system after everything that she'd been through, and like he didn't even care that she had gone through what she had gone through. Like he was just like, we need to get out of here. Like we don't talk about your brother. Like he's dead to me because of something that he had done. And so they don't go visit him. She's not allowed. She's young, so she has to go with her father. And they move to Chicago, and it is so sad because she wants to be with her brother. She wants to be with Jake and like her family there on the ranch. And Jake's father doesn't like Connor to be there anyways. Like he was always against Connor and Jake being together. So it's just all types of fucked up. So that's kind of where I left it off, because I kind of was like, oh, this is dark, and I'm kind of angry because Connor didn't deserve everything that she went through. But then when I picked it back up again, I was at the 20% mark, so I kept reading, and years passed. There are time jumps. I believe there's like a 1 year, there's a 1 year, then there's like a 3 year, I believe. And in this time, we get to see how life in Chicago for Connor is, and it is not good. It is not good. She's been saving up. She bought a motorcycle, and she's just waiting till she turns 18 so she can go back to the ranch. And once she turns 18, she does just that. But Jake does something. This man does something to break Connor's heart. And when we get that chapter in his point of view after Connor is put through even more shit, you just feel so bad and like low-key like so heartbroken, because he is so in love with this woman. He is so in love with her, and he has never stopped loving her, but he has to break her heart for a specific reason. We don't know all the details as of yet, but because Connor's life is in danger, he has to like break her heart and like force her not to come back to the ranch. And so she actually ends up leaving, I think, to a town close to the ranch, and she goes to the university there because she is studying to be a veterinarian after Jake betrays Connor, and she kind of leaves and goes to school. She like kind of lives her life a little bit. We get to see snippets of it. She is like trying to move on, and she's like learning her triggers as it goes, and she's exploring sexual relationships with other men, and she is just focused on her work. At the part where I'm at, she is currently like in a relationship with a professor that's like super like not okay. Like he's totally cheating on her and like all this stuff, but she doesn't really love him. She's just with him because it's easy. During all of these years, Jake has been watching her. He has his eyes on her. He has been making sure that she's safe, but also not being in her life. He wanted her to like continue her life, but he had been watching her, and he had been learning about her, and he has just always been obsessed with her. And I was eating it up. Eating it up. I was like, he is so in love with her. And I love that. And anyways, fast forward where the part I'm at. She goes back to the ranch because of this pact. And when Jake pulls up, he is a fine man. He is still obsessed with her. I feel like during this time, he has literally built himself up to be Connor's perfect man. Like he has literally built himself up to be the perfect man for her. Like he's learned her triggers, and he knows about that. He knows how her mind works. He's done research because he knows that Connor hasn't done any healing whatsoever, and he wants to help her heal so that she is whole as a person and that they can be happy together. And he has turned kinkier than you can imagine. That's what I'm at. And I made it to the 50% mark. So that's where I'm at. I wanted to do this update, which is a long update. I was talking for 16 minutes. I will try to cut that down, but I will update you guys later when I probably would reach either like the 80% mark or when I have further thoughts. But I wanted to get this update in here now because I will be reading some more of it. I will see you guys in a little bit late, probably later today, because I am probably gonna binge the rest of this book. I'm so dead that it took me so long to like actually get back into it, but once I gave it a chance after the 20%, I'm in it. Hi guys, so I'm here for an update on Knotted by Pam Godwin. I am on chapter 25. I'm 83% of the way in. So not much has happened with the plot wise, but I think I've reached the point where it's about to. But relationship wise, things are moving along. I think they are basically together now. There has been so much emotional healing. There has been physical healing, forgiveness, compassion, heartbreak, just trauma healing between Connor and Jake. And it has just been beautiful to see the way that Pam Godwin writes her characters. You just connect with them. I was thinking that I wanted Jake to grovel a little bit more, but like with everything that he's done for her and continues to do for her, and making sure that she is whole again before he tries to like fully be with her, it was just everything and more. And I love him so much. He is a whole ass man. Oh, he's so fine. And all of the things he did to make it safe for her, and the things that he continues to do for her, and how he's always in her corner, and the thing that we find out about from the barn. I don't know if I told y'all that last update, but the barn, I was low-key not expecting that, but you know what? I ate it up and I liked it. They're just inevitable. Like, there's a quote in here that I will just highlight for you guys. Not everything's meant to be, but Jake and I are inevitable. We're knotted together, and damn if he doesn't know how to tie a knot that withstands the test of time. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. I'm just eating this book up. I can't believe it's almost over. It's gonna fly by, I know. So basically, I'm at the point where the plot is basically gonna progress. They have to do this, they have to finish the pact that they made, and I want to see how it goes down. I want to see how they get away with it. Also, I am just so intrigued by Connor's brother, because he's in jail and he's been in there, and I just know that changes a person, and I just want to get his story, you know? Am I gonna jump right into that one? Probably not, because I have so many books that I need to read after this one, but you guys, I just love this world, and I'm so glad that there's 3 books in it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I apologize if the lighting is kind of not it in this clip, but we're just gonna keep moving. So I am here to update you guys on Sea of Ruin and Knotted. I did finish both books already. If I sound funny, it's because I swear to God, I think I'm getting sick. Like, I can feel it like in my ears and in my throat, and like I have a runny nose, and I'm not here for it. I'm not. I don't want to be sick. I was having such a good week, and this is not what I needed, and there is so much stuff that I need to do that I wanted to do, and if this gets worse, I'm not gonna have the energy to do it. And plus, I got my period today, and it's just like one thing after another. And I should have known, because my boyfriend was sick, but like I made sure to like not be all up in his business. But you know, we live together, so honestly I should have known it was bound to happen. But today's the first day. It's not as bad, so I'm gonna try and like take care of it now rather than later, so it doesn't get worse. Pray for me. I just went through my footage that I had for this vlog, because I have been doing this vlog for a minute. Oh my God. I'm not gonna throw it. I'm not gonna throw it. The fact that I caught that on camera scared the shit out of me. Okay, so like I said, I went through all of that footage, but I never like wrapped it up for you guys. Now, to update Knotted, I also ended up giving that book 5 stars. Pam Godwin has easily climbed up to an auto buy author for me. She is a 5-star author for me. Every book that I have read by her has been a 5-star, and I believe going onward into her works, all of them will be 5 stars. I think it's her writing just resonates with me. I love everything that she does. I like the plot that she has and how it integrates into the couple's relationships and Knotted. I was heartbroken by the events that were happening. She does time jumps really well, and Jake and Connor are just absolutely soulmates. I love the way that Jake just took care of Connor and put her first despite his own happiness, and the steam in this book was so hot. The emotional connection, the kind of sort of faded kind of element in the book is just so well done. I absolutely loved it. So, Sea of Ruin, I ended up giving 5 stars to. That book deserves all 5 stars. The way that Pam Godwin wrote this story, I don't know what was going up on here, but I'm glad that she wrote it down, okay? You guys already know the backstory. You guys know how I was feeling. I think I last updated you guys on 20%. Okay, so I'm here to do an update on my Pam Godwin journey. I started Sea of Ruin last night, as well as I did finish the novella that you're supposed to read between chapters 5 and 6. So for the novella, King of Libertines, I ended up giving it 4 stars, but to be honest, by the end of Sea of Ruin, I might just bump it up to a 5 because honestly, I'm so loving this book. It's already breaking my heart, but let's get into it. I am 21% of the way in. I'm in the middle of a chapter right now because I was at the Starbucks drive-thru and I wanted to read while I was waiting. Just so you know, I will pick up this book today anytime I can, just so I can keep reading. Anyway, so basically, when I went into this book, I was a little intimidated because it had this historical aspect, and I've heard just so many great reviews, and I know it's a lot of people's favorites. I was just kind of dreading it, low-key, because I was like, you know what, I already know I'm gonna love it. Does anybody else do that? You postpone a book because you know you're gonna love it? I don't know why we're like this, but I did go into it knowing that it was gonna be 2 guys and 1 girl. I didn't know how that was gonna, come up, or I think it's MMF. I don't know if it ends that way though. Anyways, okay, so backtrack. That's what I went into the book knowing, but this is about, they call her Bennett, but that's not her name. It's Benetricia or something like that. Anyways, we have our main heroine Bennett, and we meet her when she's 14, and we get to learn about her father and her mother, which the first few chapters, y'all, were brutal. When I say this is a dark romance, it's a dark romance, and Pam Godwin is gonna give it to you, give you all the feels. So anyways, we start off when she's 14, then some tragedies. She goes through some stuff. It fast forward, in the novella, it fast forward, I believe 5 years. And then when you go back to Sea of Ruin, it's been 7 years. So when we go back to Sea of Ruin, she is mourning the death of someone close to her. And then she runs into her husband, which you would know who it is if you read the novella, which one of our heroes, if I'm correct about this MMF, I don't know, y'all, I have my suspicions. We went into our hero Priest. Yeah. Priest is godly. Priest is a godly man. He is just fine as hell. He just really is, and you know what? I love them together. Anyways, so when we jump back in, and basically Priest had betrayed Bennett. He had cheated on her, so there is cheating in here, and that's where I have my suspicions. That's where my suspicions come in. But basically, Bennett's main goal, she is the captain of the ship that her father left her, and her father also left her a compass that has a map or a riddle that she needs to solve so she could find all the treasure that her father had saved, accumulated for her. And she's really holding on to this compass like this is her North Star. know what I mean? Like, this is hers, like, this is her mission. And Priest was helping her there for a while, but then, you know, stuff happens, like I said, and right now they're at this, basically Bennett has Priest like kidnapped, like she has him as her captive because she flipped that shit. And I love that Bennett is such a badass. Like, I love her, and I love Priest too, but he's not saying what he needs to be saying. But I do think that it's done for a reason. So basically, Priest stole the compass and he hid it somewhere on the ship. And so she tricks him and she captures him and has him chained up. She's like, where's my shit? And that's the part where I'm at. But it is so good so far. The writing is just absolutely beautiful. Like, I feel the writing. I have already cried. Like, the first couple of chapters were brutal, y'all. Like, I was shook. I was like, I was shook, y'all. Like, I was shook in a good way. Like, it was so good. Like, she really hit me in the feels. It wasn't full on sobbing, but like I was literally crying because I was like, wow. The way that Bennett and Priest meet, that whole novella was so good. Honestly, it's 5 stars. It's 5 stars, it's 5 stars. Just because you get to see how they met and how they fell in love, and then when you go back into Sea of Ruin, you know that they're no longer together, so it just adds to the angst, and you're like, what happened? Like, how are they gonna fix this? Like, where is this gonna go? So it's very much like Marriage in Trouble, because they are married, and the things that Priest says, and it's already smutty. Like, it's already steamy, but the steam is equally as beautiful. Like, just the way that Pam Godwin writes it is just so emotional, and it hits, and like, you're connected. It's so good. The plot is entertaining. The relationship development is entertaining. I'm only 20% of the way in and I already know it's gonna be 5 stars. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to give away my suspicions because I don't want to like spoil it in any sort of way. I also just love the words that come out of Priest's mouth. Like, he is unapologetically honest and like straightforward. Like, he's not afraid to say what he wants to say, whether it's something vulnerable or it's just straight facts, you know what I mean? His thoughts. I mean, do we have his point of view? I don't think we've gotten his point of view. No, we don't have his point of view. Do we even get any of the guys' point of view? But like, the way that Pam Godwin writes it, you can tell his emotions and his thoughts and his like facial expressions and all that stuff. He just loves her. He just loves her so much. So I know that there's more to it. You know what I mean? But she's like so hurt and betrayed, and rightfully so. And she's such a badass, and she's not giving in. Like, he's gonna need to grapple. And I already know that she's gonna go through some shit. Like, I'm thinking about the plot and I'm like, oh, I think I know where this is gonna go, and it's gonna be brutal. I'm not ready. But anyways, yeah, that is it. I've been talking for 10 minutes. I will keep you guys updated when I get to the 50% mark, or if I have any other thoughts. Hopefully later today I'll have my makeup done, but I needed to get this update done because I know I'm gonna be reading throughout the day and I wanted to keep reading, but I had to do this update. Anyways, I will update you guys later. Everything that happens from that point on is just amazing. Bennett goes through so much, and the way that she sacrifices herself for her crew to save them without knowing where she's really gonna be after she sacrifices herself, and then how much of a badass she is despite the positions that she's in. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. Anyways, she gets caught onto this military, I don't want to say it's military, it's like the Navy, like it's like a Navy ship, and our second hero, Lord Ashley Cutler, he is the captain of the ship. The way that he like this sets up the power dynamic between him and Bennett, I was like, okay, he means business. And the way that Bennett like still like stands up to him, like looks him in the eye and like won't back down. Oh, I eat it up. I love the tension, the chemistry, the sort of banter, the way that they fell in love, the scenes that they had together. They were steamy. There was this emotional connection, but there was also kind of like I said, this power dynamic because she is like captive. like that book really gave Captor Captive, which I love. I love Captor Captive. I love that dynamic. And overall, it was just so good. The plot was really good. The romance was equally as good. Like I said, Bennett goes through so much, but she comes out winning in the end with 2 men. The only thing that I will say about this book that I wish we could have had more of, I wish we could have had more Priest and Bennett like interactions and like seeing their romance. We do have the novella, which I did read as well. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you have to read it between chapters 5 and 6, I believe. And without that novella, I really would have felt left out in this whole Bennett and Priest situation. I will say Priest is my favorite. I love that man. And that's why I think I wish we could have gotten more of him. And then secondly, I do wish we could have gotten a little bit more of an MM scene in this book, or at least an MMF scene. Like I think us, you know, I think I and the girlies would have really wanted that. We would have loved to see it. I think there was the mention of one with slight details of one, but it wasn't really like happening, you know, like we wasn't in it. So that's the only 2 things that I would change. I also wish that the novella was actually in the book. I don't know. I just, girl, make it 100 more pages, okay? And give us a little bit more of Priest, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But overall, this book was just absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking, emotional, amazing, steamy, just everything that everyone says. It's so worth it. It's so good. 5 stars for me. All I'm saying is that if you haven't read Pam Godwin, you need to. All her books, at least the ones that I read in this reading vlog, are top tier. Definitely though, check trigger warnings. Literally, check trigger warnings. None of these books are light reads. None of them. I can tell you that. They all have dark elements, but if somebody's gonna do it right, it's Pam Godwin. And she does every single time. She did. But that is all for this reading vlog. I can't wait to get this vlog up for you guys. Let me know another book that I should read by Pam Godwin down below, or one that I need to read ASAP. I think I read the most popular ones, but if you don't want to comment any of that, go ahead and comment a horse emoji for Cowboy Jake from Knotted. He was like the ultimate boy obsessed. I love that man. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.